Ladies and gentlemen, live at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, this is Ciro Zanetti reporting live for the men's Division III High School State Championship game. This will be between the Duxbury Dragons and the Springfield Central High School Golden Eagles. I'm Ciro Zanetti, and we'll be getting up to the booth shortly to get our live broadcast for the game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the boys Division III State Championship here at Gillette Stadium in New England. And to start it off big for the Eagles, it's Andre Ellison. So without further ado, let's get a proper introduction. We're here in Norfolk County at Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, home of the New England Patriots, the six-time Super Bowl champs, where we get to see the Duxbury Dragons go against the reigning state champs from last year, the Springfield Central High School Golden Eagles. On the return, there was a block on the back against Central. We'll put them back a little farther than wanting. So we'll see how this game pans out. So once again, coming into this game, the Duxbury Dragons were able to win their last game to, of course, advance them, as well as the Golden Eagles, beating St. John's in the semifinals with a score of 66-33. And now on the offensive end is the Eagles. It's Watson with the handoff, and it's to Marcus Crawford. Crawford breaking through, able to get a good amount of yards on the gain. And on that play, it'll bring Crawford for an 8-yard gain on 2nd and 2 for the Eagles. Crawford, a standout player this year, 19 touchdowns on the season, incredible rushing performance last game, I should say, against St. John's, and we'll see what he can do today. And there's the fake handoff from Watson, who was taken down big on the QB keeper. And now bring up 3rd down for the Eagles, as he was not able to get the first down. And for 3rd and 2, the Eagles being held very well right now. Not a single first down, obviously, right now, and that's definitely big for Duxbury to see them stop this high-powered offense. Watson set for the snap. Hand off to Crawford. Crawford down the middle. And he's able to break free to advance for the first down. Once again, Crawford. And that's the stop that the Dragons needed to make to bring up 4th, but instead the Eagles capitalize and making it 1st down and giving them more opportunity to advance down the field. The significance of tonight's game, not only representing Springfield, Massachusetts. Here at Gillette Stadium, it's Watson throwing up deep for the rocket. No good. Incomplete pass, but there are flags on the play. We'll see how this one turns out. The pass was intended for number 8, Joseph Griffin. However, not able to mark him down on the target. The flag will be written out shortly. And we'll see. And a big play for the Eagles here. The pass interference is called on the Dragons. And that was Prouty who got called with it, who's one of the standouts for Duxbury. And that's obviously not the call you want to see. So the automatic first down will bring the Eagles in better territory. And with a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10, is Watson lined up. Ball on the 44. Watson on the snap. The handoff. He's going to power his way, instead brought down big after he tried to find the gap was Crawford. And a great defensive effort right there from the Dragons, as they were able to prevent Crawford from really getting anything big. 2nd and 7 for the Eagles. Watson obviously, being a freshman, this is a huge opportunity for him. And this is something that is incredible to see how well Watson has played. Looking for Boston is Watson, and he was not able to complete the target, as that would have been an incredible completion to start off the game. Boston not able to hold on. Of course, Isaac Boston last year, familiar to this position last year when he was the starting quarterback at Gillette Stadium to win the state champs. And now on the incompletion, 3rd and 7, 7:59 in the first quarter. We'll see how the Eagles can either capitalize on this or move forward in a way that will help them. Well, Central High School Golden Eagles, coached by Vladimir Brower, obviously ready for this one. Instead, Watson looking for the pass again. No good. Pass incomplete. But as I was saying, Coach Vladimir Brower, someone who has been an incredible and well-known coach in the Massachusetts sports area, and somebody who was here last year. Something that he said himself was that every day he likes to think of starting at 0 and working the way up. And honestly, that's something that is very deep and meaningful for this Central High School Golden Eagle team. They may have won last year, but it proves that they are not done and they want to continue. So we'll see how on this 4th and 7, how the Dragons will be able to take over. So on the punt, is able to pin them, and the Dragons not able to really get any momentum off that. So Dante Bolden on the Eagles will pick up the ball after the Miller punt, and will send the Dragons to take over on the 32-yard line. So the Duxbury Dragons, led by quarterback Will Prouty, who had an incredible season this year. We'll see how he leads his Duxbury Dragons, led by Dave Mamarin, the 148 win to 40 loss coach here in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. It's Prouty, set for the snap. He's got his receivers lined up, and now in the backfield, he has an option, and he will get the handoff. And instead, the defense is there for the Eagles. On the carry was Tim Landolfi, but he was not able to really get anywhere, bringing up 2nd down for the Dragons on a monster stop for the Eagles. 2nd and 8 for the Dragons. 7:16 to go in the first quarter, scoreless. And now for the snap, he's going to hand it off on the triple option. Prouty holds on to it. He's going to look for the pass. Completion for the first down, incomplete. He was not able to hold on to it, and what was an incredible sequence of passing on the triple option handoff back to Prouty in the backfield to look for his option. It was Landolfi who could not hold on to it, and now bring up 3rd and 8 for the Dragons. What was almost an incredible first down will now be 3rd and 8 for the Dragons, and that is going to be something that might come back to them. Ball on the 34. The Eagles lined up on the defense for their stop. And on the early pass, it was complete to Drake Headley, but there was no gain on that one. And that will bring up a prominent 4th down, as the Eagles had an amazing start on the defensive end right there. Might not have started offensively the way you expect, but to come back on the defensive end and not allow a first down, and get a 3rd and out for them is huge. It's Boston set to return, but he might not be able to pick it up as they pin the Eagles to about the 22.
Will Prouty's punt was fouled by number 10, Seamus Johnson from the Duxbury Dragons.
As
1st and 10, Springfield Central Golden Eagles.
So the Eagles will take over on the 22, and that will be 1st and 10 as the Eagles look to regain momentum on their first drive. We didn't see too much after that pass interference call. They weren't able to connect and finish. So we'll see how Watson and Crawford take over. for Watson. We'll see exactly what he can do. On the handoff is Crawford. Crawford, not able to get an exceptional amount of downs, but he's able to get past the line of scrimmage, it looks like. As it will bring up second down and 7 on the 3-yard gain was Crawford. So once again, something to talk about is freshman William Watson. An incredible season with stellar performances in huge games against Minnechaug and last week against St. John's. And now to see how he'll take over on this drive for the Eagles. Watson with the option in the backfield. He'll fake the handoff. Watson faking even me out. And he doesn't seem to get a lot of yards, but Watson rush will bring up third down for the Eagles. And the tackle was by Matt Perenick. So now, 3rd and 5. It's interesting to see what the Eagles will be doing on this one. On Watson, set to pass. Stays out the pocket. He's going to throw, looking for his target. And after an incredible series of bobbles from Joseph Griffin, he wasn't able to hold on to it in what would have been another huge play, as we saw with Duxbury after their triple option play with the pass in the backfield. Watson holding on to it after looking to scramble, and Griffin could not complete it, as that will bring up 4th and 5 for the Golden Eagles. So Mahari Miller will be set to punt it. And something that I love to mention about this Golden Eagles team, you take a team with Mahari Miller and Isaac Boston as your starting quarterbacks last year, you get William Watson, and you make Boston play receiver and Miller play the cornerback. And you get an incredible defensive back from Miller and a great receiver from Boston. And on the punt, it looked like Brendan Guy was able to recover it and stop them, as the Dragons will get it around the 46-yard line. So another opportunity for the Duxbury Dragons. Once again led out by Will Prouty. We'll see how they take over. Ball on the 46. And a team that mainly runs that spread option. We'll see how this goes. He's got his options and targets lined up. Seems to be Landolfi going in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff as Prouty. Prouty spinning his way to the ground as what seemed to be a very powerful, rush. But he goes down big. And they'll bring up 2nd and 8 on the 2-yard gain for the Dragons. 4 minutes, 26 seconds to go in the first quarter, as the opening has definitely been slow for a team like the Dragons and a team like the Eagles. The Eagles averaging a game total of 47 points per game, as the Dragons were averaging 29.5 on the season. So to see so far no scoring on 2 drives for the Eagles, we'll see how the Dragons do on their second drive. It's Prouty, once again faking the handoff. Tries to find his way, but that central defense, that line has been there. Guys like Tyson Thornton and Terry Lockett have really made a name for themselves on this central defense, being almost like a brick wall. And then once you get by them, you have to get by Dante Bolden and Corey Jackson. So the Eagles have made a very big case of great defense this year. And now, on 3rd and 6, Prouty taking his time on the snap, making sure he has what he wants to do down. And Prouty on the snap. He's going to look for his options. He throws it up deep, pass incomplete, as it was intended for Landolfi, but he wasn't able to get it in as 4th and 6 comes up. And it'll be interesting to see if they stay on the field or if they punt it. So it looks like Prouty will be staying on the field to be set out to punt, most likely. And instead, they will stay lined up. So 4th and 6 on the 42. Prouty stays on the field. They're going to call a timeout. So timeout will be called, and after a confusing, set of on that snap, we'll see what the Dragons actually do want to do, because Prouty didn't even seem like he knew what he wanted to do as he stayed in the backfield and called for Landolfi to come up to him, but he wasn't able to connect or anything on that. So the timeout called, 4th and 6 once again. And ladies and gentlemen, once again on the quick introduction, this is Ciro Zanetti, reporting live for Focus Springfield. It's a beautiful evening of December 7th, 2019. Here at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, Norfolk County, for the boys Division III Western Mass State Championship between the Dragons of Duxbury and the Springfield Central High School Golden Eagles. And now the Dragons look to be more confident in what they are doing, and Prouty on the punt, trying to pin them down. This could be an exceptional punt, and an incredible punt by Prouty will pin the Eagles on their, in an awful position for them, and around the 2. On the 5, to be exact, check that, and wow. An incredible punt from one of the most versatile players I might have seen. We have Prouty, who is a standout defensive back and playing a good job at quarterback this year, and now able to stay in the backfield and pin them to their own 5-yard line. The Eagles are put in some tough territory here. So now Watson. On the snap, clear handoff. There is a flag down on the play, but Crawford looks to play it out as he gets a good amount of yards on the gain. But once again, with the flag on the play, we will shortly see what exactly it was. So the ruling is false start. So will be a false start on the offense. And on a repeat first down, this will put the Eagles in even worse territory.
So with the penalty average, that'll bring up a 1st and 12 for the Golden Eagles.
On the 2-yard line now, the Eagles are put into a predicament they need to overcome. Watson. Set the snap. On the handoff. Trying to find a gap, but he can't punch it through. As Crawford run will bring up 2nd down for the Eagles on about a 1-yard gain. So now 2nd and 12 for the Eagles. Will it be another handoff to Crawford? Once again, however, this time Crawford not able to find his way, as the rush defense from the Duxbury Dragons deserves some praise right now, as we have seen some great stoppage going hand in hand. And now it will be 3rd and 9 after the gain from Crawford. We'll see what Watson does. There's going to be another flag, and it looks to be another false start. So another flag, and if it is against the Eagles, this will put them in horrible territory. And it is another false start against the Eagles. And this is just a tough series of calls against the Eagles. Something you don't really see a lot in high school football, as well as kind of that offsides call, but this false start has really hurt the Eagles. So it'll remain 3rd down. It will go back from 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 12 on the 3-yard line. Watson. He will keep it. Looking for his man, it's overthrown, and Watson unable to find his target, number 8, Joseph Griffin. So now the special teams unit for both teams shall come out to the field, and we'll see how exactly the Dragons will do on this return, because you're going to need a big punt from Ahari Miller on this one. Putting it in the hands of Prouty will be very dangerous with how close it is. He's got to be hitting them with a big boot. So on the 4th and 12, ball on the 3-yard line, Miller set the punt. And the punt doesn't get a lot of distance. Prouty to take it. This might be a big play. Stiff arms his way, and he goes out of bounds after a big gain, but there is a flag on the play. And we'll see what the call is.
There were multiple fouls on the play. Block the back on the return team. Decline. Block the back on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the start of the foul. First down.
So a big set of penalties, as one illegal block in the back declined, as the second one was accepted. And now the Dragons will be in their own turmoil after they receive the penalty. On the receiving team, we'll see how the Eagles' defense can maintain. On the Dragons' third drive, with 1:09 to go in the first quarter, we'll see how they can do. Prouty now on the snap. Landolfi in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff, instead throw it up, look for his target. Pass incomplete as it goes out of bounds, looking for Brady Madigan. Unable to connect, 2nd and 10 coming up for the Dragons. And now Prouty tonight has made his name on the field, a couple times, as we've seen him already get called for that pass interference, and now on the return he wasn't able to really have a credible return because of the pass interference. The illegal block in the back. So Prouty not on the start that he wants to. However, he has had a couple solid runs. So we'll see what he can do now on 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Help coming up. Looking for the dart to Landolfi. It was a nice little pitch, but it'll bring up 3rd down for the Dragons. So 3rd and 8 for the Dragons with 41 seconds to go in the first quarter. Scoreless here at Gillette Stadium. And Prouty is going to keep it his own, the QB keeper, to get the first down and then some, as he advances the Dragon down the field even more with a big-time gain. And that was an incredible play by Prouty to read it himself, get the QB keeper, and finally get the momentum he needs for this team. 1st and 10 for the Duxbury Dragons. And now on 1st down, Prouty. He'll try to keep it. And he's going to dish it out of bounds instead. So now that will bring up 2nd down for the Dragons. So with the timeout called, with the end of the first quarter out of our hands. So with the timeout, with the quarter ending, just a little bit of confusion there after that. But first quarter coming to end. The Central High School Golden Eagles not able to capitalize on several drives, as the Duxbury Dragons as well were not able to get themselves in for 6 or 7 or even 3. So, as we are here in Gillette Stadium, home of the New England Patriots, This is an incredible opportunity for both these teams, and honestly, to be here broadcasting is a dream of mine. And to think that I would be not broadcasting for any other team than my high school of the Springfield Central High School Golden Eagles, it truly is an opportunity I would love to thank for Focus Springfield. And now, once again, as we transition back after the cheerleaders for Duxbury are finished, the second quarter set for snap, and we'll see how Prouty can do after a big first down run that he got, and then the passing completion to end the quarter. With 2nd and 10 to start it off, we'll see exactly how they will capitalize here in the Division III state championship. So something that I talked about was, of course, the Golden Eagles' last game against the St. John Pioneers with their 66-33 win. The Duxbury Dragons beat Tewksbury 35-6 to advance to here. So that was an impressive win amongst themselves. So now to start off the second quarter, it will be the Duxbury Dragons on the 27-yard line. And Prouty, taking his time on the snap, he's going to pitch it to the backfield, and a big-time stop for the Golden Eagles. As on the tackle for the Eagles was Messias Lee. So big-time stop for the Eagles. 3rd and 14 to be brought up for the Dragons. 9:34 to go as the quarter has just started, and already a big-time play for the Eagles. We'll see how Prouty can do it. He's going to try to keep it again for the run, and instead, as it may be short, as it will bring up 4th down, there's almost no other choice but to go for it. But it was C.J. Davis to get the tackle to stop him. So now 4th and 8 for the Dragons. We'll see what is in store for Prouty on this play. Is another halfback option or another pitch, another QB keeper. We haven't seen a lot of passing completions, so we'll see what Prouty can do. And a swarm of Central players finding their way to force Prouty to throw it out. We saw Corey Jackson, Terry Lockett, and Messias Lee charge at full speed against Prouty and forced to throw it out on the turnover on downs. There's a flag on the play, it seems. And of course it will be against Prouty on the intentional grounding. And they're going to bring out the Eagles on the offensive end after a great defensive stop. On the 4th down, the intentional grounding called. But now the Eagles get the ball in nice territory. Ball on the 44. And now we will once again see what they do on the offensive end. Watson with his option in the backfield. Fakes the handoff. Quick pass. Finds his target for the big-time pass to the 10, to the 5, to the house for 6. The touchdown for the Eagles. Count it up. And what an incredible completion for the Eagles. And that was an incredible play, as it was Kevin Key, the senior for the Eagles, to get into the house for 6 on the breakaway reception. 6 up for the Eagles. And now, once again, an incredible play to find the gap and speed through. The Eagles on the board. After a tough couple drives, we'll see what is in store
We'll have a 2-point conversion.
Well, it looks like there will be a 2-point attempt for the Eagles. And now it seemed like there was too many men on the field for Duxbury. Instead, they're going to call a timeout before anything goes down, maybe to set up a formation to stop the Eagles in their 2-point conversion attempt. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning in, Focus Springfield, this is Ciro Zanetti live at Gillette Stadium. And an incredible play was just under our belt as we saw Kevin Key glide his way into the end zone for 6 for the Central High School Golden Eagles. And what a moment for Kevin Key and William Watson. The freshman to senior combo as Key gets a touchdown at the home of the 6-time Super Bowl champs, New England Patriots, and William Watson, first touchdown of the night. Huge play for them, and we'll see what is in store for this 2-point conversion after the timeout runs out. And now for the Eagles, Watson, alone in the backfield. Set for a quick pass. He looks for his target, and it is incomplete. Incredible defense by the Dragons, as he was intended for Griffin. But the 2-point conversion, no good. And now 6-0, the score. This puts the Dragons into nice territory of their own to give them the opportunity to take the lead. So now the Golden Eagles, after that, have to be in their own world now. In a little bit of anger after that. But once again, score after the drive, 6-0, your Golden Eagles. On top right now, 8:33 to go in the first half. Set to kick, Justin Gabriel. And now, we'll see who actually is thunderstruck now after this one. We'll see if it's a return or a big stop. So now for the Dragons, set to return. They find almost a gap, but the Eagles find themselves a returner who got taken down big time as a swarm of Eagles, you could say, get a big time stop. What could have been a huge return. The Dragons will have the ball on about the 29. So once again, 1st and 10 for the Dragons after the successful scoring drive for the Eagles. Prouty with his option in the backfield. Set to snap. He's going to move away. He's going to go for the pass, finding his target, and rip it down through the middle for Duxbury. A nice play as he was able to find Drake Headley for a big gain on that play. And that was very clutch for the Dragons, and they'll now have it on the 48 after, once again, Drake Headley on the reception. So now Prouty on the handoff, taken down was Landolfi. And it was Corey Jackson with the stop for the Eagles. And now 2nd and 9 for the Dragons. We'll see what they want. As we've seen from the Dragons, very slow momentum almost after these plays. But the thing is they haven't really been able to capitalize on it. It is a very smart game plan, though, to wind that clock down. And now Prouty scrambling quick. And the interception for the Eagles! An incredible play for the Eagles on the interception. I believe it was Cameron Lee. It was Cameron Lee on the interception. And that hit you in the dark because you couldn't see that come into the last second. It looked like it was going to be either thrown out or on the scramble looking for his target. But Lee jumps up and snags it for the Central High School Golden Eagle interception. And now freshman William Watson has himself another opportunity on the field, and that is another, heartwarming moment here at Gillette. The senior, Cameron Lee, getting an interception, and the pass way out harm's way, and now that'll bring up 2nd and 10 on the incompletion that was targeted for Isaac Boston. So once again, 2nd and 10 with 7 and 10 left to go in the first half, and the Eagles still up 6-0 after the big-time interception from Cameron Lee, as he is spotted with a turnover chain right now. And now it's Watson again. On the snap, he's going to keep it. Going for the pass. The quick pass is complete for the Eagles. Into the house is number 7, Andre Ellison, also known as A-Loading, getting himself in for 6 points, putting the Eagles up 12-0. And another incredible play, and Ellison with the wheels, finding his way easily to the house. And another senior for the Eagles making a play at Gillette Stadium. On the 2-point conversion attempt, it's Watson trying to avoid traffic and ultimately being brought down after the defense was there quickly. But once again, 12 points now for the Eagles, making it more than what the Dragons wanted to contain after a good stop on the last 2-point conversion attempt. But man, the wheels on Andre Ellison. Last year, and the year before that, used as a big running back. Now, at the receiving end, he is useful, that is for sure. And Watson getting in his 2nd touchdown of the night, the freshman making a name for himself. With 7:01 to go in the first half, we have seen a stellar performance from the Springfield Central High School Golden defense. The likes of Cameron Lee, Messias Lee, Corey Jackson, Dante Bolden, Terry Lockett, Tyson Thornton. We have seen a lot of big stops. And now, getting set for the kickoff is Justin Gabriel. And on the squib, it's going to go to the 20. And on the return, finds a couple gaps, but can't get for big gain. So for the return was number 8, Brady Madigan. And now with the ball placed directly on the 36, we'll see what the Duxbury Dragons can do. 6:56 to go. And as I mentioned earlier, this Central High School Golden Eagle defense is something else. And even tonight, they're playing very well on the big stage. So now it's Prouty, who has had some incredible plays, fakes the handoff on the keeper. He's taken down for a monster loss of yards, and that was Terry Lockett. Terry Lockett, a monster of his own league, offered by UMass, Syracuse, and Michigan. An incredible player, and to say that all of this from Terry Lockett at his junior year is incredible. So now, the 2nd and 9 for the Dragons. On the snap is the quick fake handoff. Prouty trying to find his way, but he's brought down again as the Eagles were there. And for the Eagles right there was Zach Jones, who was quick on it. And now to bring up 3rd down for the Dragons with the clock going by with 5:50 to go in the first half. 12-0 right now as the Eagles had 2 tremendous back-to-back drives connecting for 6. 3rd and 8 to be set on the 38-yard line. We'll see what Prouty and the offense can do now. Prouty looking for his target. Pass complete. He's able to find the distance for it, getting it to about... He gets a big gain for that. And on the reception was number 3, James Anderson, the sophomore for the Dragons. And now the ball will go to the 28-yard line on the big gain. The Dragons in the territory they need to be. And that was just great play reading by Prouty, who really found the target he needed on a great pass. And now fakes the keeper and the handoff to Landolfi. As Landolfi didn't get a big gain. 2nd down to come up, but he does get enough. And now we'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Dragons. 4:40 to go in the first half as the time is definitely winding down. Still scoreless are the Duxbury Dragons. They want to make sure that that changes because they do get ball at half. So to get a score in here and then solidify getting the ball at half is huge. Prouty looking for his target, and it was tipped by C.J. Davis. Wasn't able to get the interception, but he deflects it and almost blocks out any chance on the reception. So they'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Duxbury Dragons on the 27-yard line. The Eagles have 3 timeouts of their own, and the Dragons only have 1. So this does put them in a bad situation if they do end up getting the ball back with less than a minute to go in the 2nd quarter. So now, on 3rd and 9, we'll see what the Dragons do. We'll see Prouty looking for the throw again. He does find his target. Flag on the play, but into the end zone for the Dragons was number 8, Brady Madigan. However, there will be a flag on the play that could come back for them, or it could be against the Eagles. We'll see what the call is. And it's going to be against the Dragons, and that is huge. Calling back the timeout, and the Eagles were saved by the bell on the flag. The pass interference was made, and it makes sense if you see it there. The block was made before the ball was in hands, and that will rule back the touchdown and bring up a monster 3rd and 24 for the Duxbury Dragons with 4:09 to go in the first half. So it would have been a 12-6 game now. 3rd and 24, 12-0 still. Ball on the 42. Prouty set the snap. And there's going to be another flag. It could be either an offsides or it seemed to be a false start. We'll see what the calling or the ruling is. It's going to be a false start on the offense, and that is once again killing the Dragons as a chain of 2 huge penalties in a row. So 3rd and 29 now. We'll see what exactly this team does. Prouty on 3rd and 29. Can he do the miracle? On the snap. Keeps it. Looking for a target. Passes far out of completion range, as that will bring up 4th down for the Dragons. So it was a touchdown to number 8, Brady Madigan, was held against themselves because there was a pass interference call. And then after that, a false start was called. So 4:01 to go in the first half, 4th and 29. It's almost like you have to punt it because you don't want to risk another sack or another penalty. So now for the punt was Prouty, and he looked like he was trying to pin him as he did earlier, but he wasn't able to get the spin he wanted. And so with the Eagles now getting set to return on the field on the offensive end, we will see how this offense comes out in their own league. 3:51 to go. And earlier we saw a Kevin Key touchdown for the Eagles, and then we saw a Andre Ellison touchdown for the Eagles. So now 1st and 10, ball on the 35. Watson. On the quick pass, it's Ellison again, who tries to maneuver his way out of that, but instead will bring up 2nd down. So now for the Eagles, 2nd and 9 to be brought up after the 1-yard gain from the senior Andre Ellison. 3:25 to go in the first half. Score still 12-0. Eagles up, 3 timeouts left, and with plenty of time to score. Watson, drop back, pass attempt, looking for Boston. Boston can't hold on to it, as it is another breakup, and that was Campbell Payne was able to break it up, and Boston looks to be hopping off and on 1. That can't be good. But after that, another incompletion to Boston. That was a big target, and it seemed like he did hurt his leg right there. So we'll see on 3rd and 9 how the Eagles capitalize on this. And now Crawford has the option again. He's going to hold on to it. Watson looking to scramble, facing the blitz, and he wasn't able to get a big gain, but he was able to get past the line of scrimmage. But Watson faced with that Dragon defense as they pounced at him quickly. Did get across the line of scrimmage and look to strip or take him down. Will bring up 4th down for the Eagles on the gain of 1. 4th and 8 for the Eagles. We'll see exactly where Miller can get this punt. Kind of milking the clock a little. 2:23 to go in the first half. Miller taking his time on the snap. This is a smart decision by the Eagles, who are the home team. Miller, punt almost blocked, but he does get it on good positioning, and Prouty will signal the fair catch. So the Dragons will receive the ball with 2:07 to go in the first half. And now with the Dragons taking over, once again we will see. So if you're just tuning in to Focus Springfield, this is Ciro Zanetti live at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, for the Boys Division III State Championship between the Duxbury Dragons and the Springfield Central High School Golden Eagles, the defending state champs. So now, Prouty, set for the snap. He's going to take the drop back, looking for a deep pass. Pass in no man's land, and it is picked off for the Eagles, it seems. Or are they going to call an incompletion? But it was Mahari Miller. So the Mahari Miller interception, as the ball was out, seemed to be thrown in no man's land, will be taken over by the Eagles, and a big-time interception from the senior Columbia commit, Mahari Miller. In a defensive showcase once again, as I will say, from the Golden Eagles. Look at Miller swoop in to the play for that interception. Might be a cornerback this year, but last year, don't forget, he was the quarterback for the Eagles. And now Watson on 1st and 10, ball on the 30. He's going to fake the handoff on the QB keeper. Watson looking to find room. He's going to get his own way as he advances big time, getting a first down and then some. Advancing his way in great territory. With a flag on the play, this may come back to bite the Eagles. But in the moment, a superb play. And it will be against the Eagles, so it will set them back on the replay first down. Loss of 10, huge penalty now as the Eagles are on the side of that. And once again, a nice QB keeper from Watson. But now, 1st and 5, they will say, instead of 1st and 20. It seemed messed up on the scoreboard, so 1st and 5 instead for the Eagles on the 5-yard penalty. Watson looking for Ellison, thrown out of reach, will bring up 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. 1:50 to go in the first half. The Eagles up 12-0. It would be very nice to get another score up before the half to go up 3 possessions over the Dragons, because the Dragons are receiving at half, so that will be big for them. And we have seen a stellar performance from the defense with an interception from Cameron Lee and Mahari Miller. And now the pitch on the end-around play to Boston. Boston trying to find room, but on the rush will be 3rd down for the Eagles. On the play was a gain of 2. That'll be 3rd and 3 for the Eagles. And now another flag thrown on the ground. And we'll see what the ruling is. And this will be big. Seems to be maybe an offsides. So now call to be ruled. So it'll be encroachment on the defense, and that will be huge for the Eagles. Automatic first down, putting them into much better territory. Ball on the 42. Watson to take over now. 1:18 to go in the first half. Well, Vladimir Brower's Eagles definitely putting on a great performance. Watson to keep it in the backfield, to scramble out, and to throw it out. The smart decision to avoid anything and at least do it before there was that intentional grounding call. So to set it out for 2nd and 10, ball on the 42, 1:11 to go. Up 12-0 at Gillette Stadium, home of the 6-time Super Bowl champ New England Patriots. This has got to be a feeling for the Eagles right now. And even to play here, and more importantly, even to commentate here, it is incredible. So now to see what Watson will do. We've seen him break out with 2 touchdowns tonight. Watson, look for his pass. Looking for Ellison, complete to the 20, to the 10, to the house for 6. And Watson gets it to go to Ellison for the touchdown for the Eagles. A loading. Good for 6. And what a play for the Eagles. This has got to be something you love to see for the Eagles, as they have truly come out here on a top-notch performance. And Watson to find Andre Ellison again with the wheels, finding his way easily to the house. And now 18-0, the second touchdown for the senior Andre Ellison. 1:01 to go. They are lined up for 2-point conversion. For the 2-point conversion, we'll see how this pans out. And now it's Watson. Fakes the handoff. Looking quick for Boston. Check that. That was key. And that will be good for 2. So the Eagles able to take over. And there will be flags on the play for the Eagles. And we'll see what the ruling is for the play. So with the illegal formation of the receiver and the roughing the passer, they will offset, canceling out the play, and they will be retrying the two-point conversion. So we'll see now, once again, what will go down. Boston, Key, Griffin, and Crawford as the targets for Watson. Set to snap. Watson. He's going to keep it, looking for a target again, going for Griffin, and it's tipped. And it was Prouty with the defensive stop. As we've mentioned, can do it on the offensive end and the defensive end, and the quarterback, Prouty. No good for the Eagles on the two-point attempt. 1:01 to go. Your updated score, 18-0 after the second Andre Ellison receiving touchdown. The Eagles up big now. So now this gives the Duxbury Dragons an opportunity to get into the end zone before the half. And that'll be big for them because they will be receiving at the start of the second half. So with 1 minute, 1 second to go, one timeout, we'll see what the Dragons can do and how Prouty will lead them after a unsuccessful drive last time with the pick thrown to Mahari Miller. I mean, an incredible sequence of drives as we saw a great interception from Miller and then an incredible touchdown from Ellison. So it's 88 Justin Gabriel for the kick for the Eagles. And he'll squib it to the 30 directly, and on the return for the Dragons, they will go to about the 40. So now 1st and 10 on the 38 to be exact. We'll see what the Dragons can do and how they can manage their one timeout with 56 to go. So something to touch is, of course, the Dragons with Coach Dave Mamarin, who is a legendary coach in the Western Mass Division III football rankings. We'll see how his halftime speech can handle up for the Dragons. And now Prouty on his own looking for the pass to find his target. Pass incomplete. Flags thrown. Looks maybe to be pass interference. And that will be huge if that is what's called. And it was intended for Anderson. But it might be pass interference. So the automatic first down for the Dragons on an incredibly clutch call, and that is huge. You can't do that, the Eagles, on the pass interference call. That will be big, and that will advance the Dragons down the field 15 yards, automatic first down. 48 to go in the half. Once again, 18 Eagles to the Dragons, none. We'll see how this play folds out on the snap. He's going to keep it. Looking for his target. Almost picked off, but he holds on to it. And a big reception and another big hit for the Eagles. That was Tim Landolfi, as that was a miracle catch. Incredible coming up with that, as it was nearly picked off, or swatted at least, but Davis able to bring him down. So now 30 seconds to go, one timeout remaining, 1st and 10. They have to quick snap. Prouty to hold on to it. Falls into one of his own man. And he will go down. And there will be the final timeout taken. So with 22 seconds to go, the final timeout for the Dragons has been taken in the first half. So we'll see how they come back on the field on the 2nd and 5 outing. Once again, 18-0. If the Dragons were able to get in for 6 and then convert for 2, or at least make the PAT, we'll see exactly what they can do when they receive at the start of the second half. So that will be definitely very interesting to see, but before we get into all that, we have to make sure that they finish this drive. 2 interceptions thrown for Prouty tonight. 1 to senior Cameron Lee, and 2, the second one was thrown to Mahari Miller. So now the Dragons set to return to the field. After the timeout is over with, we'll see what Coach Mamarin was saying to his players, at least issued to them. So now ball on the 24. Prouty on the snap. He's going to drive to his right, fake the pass, tries to find his way past the line of scrimmage, but a swarm of Central linemen get their way to him quickly. To keep in mind, folks, no timeouts remaining. Of course, going out of bounds, stopping the clock, 14 seconds to go in the first half. And they'll bring up 3rd down for the Dragons on the 5-yard loss, 3rd and 10. This will be big to get a first down here. So now, 14 seconds to go. Ball on the 30. Prouty on the snap. To throw it up deep for his target. Pass complete. And they signal it touchdown for the Dragons. And the pass was complete to number 17, Drake Headley. And what a completion for the Dragons on a miracle throw. And what an incredible finish right here to get themselves on the board. That was Headley. So they will be taking the 1 for the PAT. And the kick is signaled good. And that'll be 18-7, 7 seconds to go before half. To be safe here on this kick, you gotta see a squib or something to make sure that they don't really get a big return off from that, because last week in the final minutes of the St. John Central game, instead of they tried squibbing it, but number 3, Frank Velasquez, returned it big for a Central special teams touchdown. And that's not what you want to see to close the first half for the Dragons, as they have just found themselves in a good situation. So now, set for kickoff, the Eagles have Ellison and Boston set to return. So the kick is Brett Swaza. He's going to find his way to a nice punt to Boston. Boston now looking for the return. Trying to stand up, and he's brought down, and that will end the first quarter. It looks like they will signal up that will do it for the first half of the boys Division III state championship between the Springfield Central High School Golden Eagles and the Duxbury Dragons. Live at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts on the beautiful evening of December 7th, 2019. This is Ciro Zanetti. You're watching Focus Springfield. Tune in for the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, live at Gillette Stadium for the return of the Golden Eagles and the Duxbury Dragons for the third quarter start for the Division III state championship. It will be the Eagles set to kick it off, and it is Gabriel to kick it off. 18-7 your score. After the half, 28 total rush yards for the Dragons compared to the Eagles' 43. We'll see how they take over in the second half. And for the return for the Dragons, they will get about 5 yards on the return. And now they are set to take over. The Dragons, 97 total passing yards and 125 total yards. 2 turnovers. To the Eagles, 158 passing yards and 201 total yards with 0 turnovers. So almost a flawless offense going into the first half, or going into the second half. We'll see how the two teams come out and how the two teams perform. So it is Will Prouty for the Dragons, who sets to take over the field for Duxbury. So an incredible touchdown pass last drive for the Dragons led to the score, and now whistle signaling on the field and flag thrown. So it will be against the offense on a 5-yard penalty. Very specific, but remains first down. So it'll be 1st and 15. So another penalty for the Dragons. Prouty looking to scramble. And pass thrown out. And it will be complete to bring up second down. That was Anderson on the 4-yard gain after the reception. So 2nd and 11 for the Duxbury Dragons. Ball on the 35. And now set to see what Prouty will do. Alone in the backfield, calling for help. Signaled the fake. He's going to keep it stripped out for the Eagles. It will be recovered. For the Eagles was Messias Lee. So that is huge for the Eagles. And so, just like that, the Eagles will take over after the Messias Lee forced fumble. Incredible defense, you gotta point it out. Yes, they let up a touchdown in the last seconds, but the third forced turnover for the Eagles will give them another offensive opportunity, and they have been on a roll offensively. So to see what the freshman, Pop Watson, will do. He has Crawford as an option in the backfield with Boston, Griffin, Key, and Ellison. And he hands it off to Crawford. Crawford to go down the middle and get blocked up quick to bring up second down for the Eagles. So it was a 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9 for the Eagles now.
Pick up a 1, brings up 2nd and 9 for the Golden Eagles.
So to see what Watson will do now. Will he hold on to it? He's going to throw quick for his target, and it's thrown to the back of the defender, and that was Murphy, who was there for defense, and that will be 3rd and 9. Jack Murphy on the stop, as it seemed to be targeted for Kevin Key, correction.
Number 2, Jack Murphy was defending for the Dragons. To bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Golden Eagles. This will be from the Dragon 28.
So now 3rd and 9 for the Eagles. And now taking his time on the snap. Watson to level it out. Looking for, it seemed to be maybe a pass interference call. They won't call it. So now they'll bring up 4th and 9 for the Golden Eagles. No signal on the field that there was pass interference. Pass was intended for Frank Velasquez. So I think Watson will stay on the field and keep that offensive unit to stay. So 4th and 9. Watson lined up. Has his targets in bunches. Targeted for Griffin. Griffin in for 6. They signal it. A touchdown for the Eagles. Number 8, Joseph Griffin in for 6 for the Eagles. And that's another incredible moment for Springfield Central High School. Griffin in for the Eagles. Touchdown. On the Watson 4th down attempt, he finds his target for a tiptoeing in touchdown for 6 more. 24-7 now, your updated score after the Griffin touchdown. We'll see where the Eagles go with the 2-point conversion. So now Watson throwing quickly and attempt no good. No, really nothing said after that. So the pass was incomplete. 2-point conversion, no good. Score remains 24-7 with 8:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. So the Eagles set to kick it off against the Dragons. We'll see what can happen now. The Eagles have now forced 3 turnovers on the Dragons, and Prouty has been responsible for all 3 of those. 1 fumble, 2 picks. 28 Justin Gabriel will set to kick it off. We'll see whether it is a squib or outright boot. Gabriel will look to give it straight to the 30. And for the return, taken down, it was Anderson on the return, and the Dragons take over in good territory around the 39-yard line. Once again, 8:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. To start off the 2nd half, we've seen a Duxbury turnover and a Central touchdown. Something to talk about tonight for the Eagles is something that was not expected, and that is that they are not putting up a lot of rushing yards. But of course, their defense has been stopping the same for Duxbury. 2 rush-heavy teams stopped big time. And now on the rollout is Prouty as he was taken down for the loss. And that brings up 2nd down as Prouty couldn't escape Lockett's wrath, as Lockett there to take him down almost with the wind, you could say, and Prouty couldn't stand up. And that will bring up 2nd and 16 for the Dragons. So now, Prouty on the snap. Looks for the man, and it was Jackson to break up the pass. So that'll be 3rd and 16. Once again, Corey Jackson with the stop.
Corey Jackson, 3rd and 16.
So 3rd and 16 will be brought up. 7:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. Prouty on the snap to drop back, throw it up deep, targeting for number 5, Cam Regan, but he could not get it to go as Nieves was there to contain him. And that will bring up 4th and 16 for the Dragons. And so the expected return team of Isaac Boston in the backfield will set out for the Eagles. Mahari to follow him. However, there could be a fake play, something to always mention when your quarterback is your punter. And he's going to boot it, and it will be sent to about, it's going to roll back, and they almost get it directly on the 30. So the Central High School Golden Eagles will take over on about the 31.
First and 10 at Springfield Central Golden Eagles. They begin from their own 31.
So now, Watson returning on the field after a previous touchdown. We'll see what the momentum of their drives can do for this one. So now, it's Watson. Option setup, set to snap. He's gonna keep it. He'll throw it up. Target to Key. Can't hold on. And there looks to be a little contact after the play, but nothing called. And that will be 2nd and 10. The attempt to Key, no good. So now 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. 6:59 to go in the third quarter. 24-7 your score, as the Eagles were able to put up 6 at the start of the half. Now Watson on the drop back to hold it. Trying to find his man. Instead, he might try to hold on to it. The zoom pass, and instead, he'll run out of bounds, nearly getting past the line of scrimmage. So that will be 3rd down for the Eagles. On a loss of 3. Not able to get anything there. 3rd and 13 from Watson, as he's having a word with the refs after that call. But now we'll see what the freshman can do in this position. 3rd and 13. 6:51 to go. With Crawford in the backfield for the option. He's going to keep it. Watson swarmed, holds on to it. Moving away, looking for Key. And the pass is incomplete. The senior can't hold on to it. And a very important possession. Can't bring it in, and that will be 4th and 13 for the Eagles. So now, once again, senior Mahari Miller set to punt it out for the Eagles after the big-time stop for the Dragons. They will get another shot, chance at opportunity. So now, set the punt. Miller to get it to about the 45, and they're going to fair catch it, and Prouty will take over where he signaled. 1st and 10 take over. And look at this little guy on the field. Might take over for the Dragons in a couple years, but now, 1st and 10, the Dragons will take over, and they will start another drive. Ball on the 45.
1st and 10 for the Dragons.
And now, Prouty. Missile back. Lateral to Prouty. Prouty to go. Spinning his way into Tyson Thornton. Slamming him down. No room to go. As Thornton signals. All these special plays. Not able to get anywhere on that one. 2nd and 8 on the 2-yard gain. There was a lateral back and then the forward motion to Will Prouty. But in the end, stopped by Tyson Thornton. And now Prouty gives the handoff on the gain and on the run. It's Tim Landolfi. Landolfi able to get a couple yards on the gain. That will bring up 3rd and 5 on the play. And now 5:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles up 24-7 against the Duxbury Dragons in the Division III state championship. Back to it, it's Prouty. Prouty to find his target quickly, and that was Landolfi, and he gets the 1st down. So big time play right there. Getting the 1st down, moving the chains. The Dragons will have it on about the 44 right now. So a new set of downs and more opportunity to move in. As the Eagles defense chases after him, but Prouty dives his way into the ground for the gap as Bolden was too quick at first, but he couldn't get to him at the end. Prouty dives in after a big gain of 5 for the quarterback. 2nd and 5 for the Dragons. Ball now on the 44. We're on the 39, check that. So now Prouty will take his time again. And they call for help on the handoff, on the end-around handoff. Finds his man, fumble, ball out. Looks like the Dragons have a hold of it. They were able to recover, but on it was Brady Madigan on the end-around rush. There was a loss of 1 after the ball poked loose. Bring up 3rd and 6 for the Duxbury Dragons. So 3:43 to go on the snap. Prouty looking for a pass as he gets his man, but quickly taken down was Drake Hadley as the Eagles were there. Tyson Thornton quickly there for the stop. Now bring up 4th and 8 for the Dragons. So on that play, it's almost inevitable for the Dragons to go for it. On 4th down here, we'll see what Prouty can do. For the drop back, looking for his man. He brushes off the tackle, but taken down. He seems to be in there to signal the 1st down, but we'll see. It will come down to the wire. So the Eagles defense there to stop the conversion, and that will be 1st down before the Eagles on the 4th down attempt. 1st and 10. The Eagles back on the field. Ball taken over at the 35 now. Watson ready for another drive. So now, help in the backfield. He's going to hand it off. Flag on the play, but Crawford ripping his way through. Trying to punch it in, but once again, flag on the play. So we'll see what it is. So there will be a penalty on the Eagles formation, and that will be a repeat 1st down, 5-yard penalty. 1st and 15 for the Eagles. So now the ball on the 30. After the penalty was called, Watson again put in bad territory. So now, he's going to hand it off to Crawford, and Crawford take it down quite easily, as Crawford can't get by a lot today, because he hasn't really had the breakaway that we're used to. They'll bring up second down after the short gain of 1. Second and 14 for the Eagles. So Watson set for the snap on second and 14. Looks to be signals. And he's going to give it to Crawford. Crawford dipping his way through, finding the gap he's been looking for. And finally, Crawford able to get a good break of yards there. That will bring up third down on the big gain. Once again, Crawford for now the 3rd and 2 set up for the Eagles. The 12-yard gain. So now, most likely going to look to punch it in for the first down. They're going to see now, it's Watson. He's going to call what seemed to be a timeout. Can't really. He signals the timeout after it took him a while, but yep, that will give the Eagles a chance to genuinely prepare themselves for this 3rd and 2 attempt. 1 minute, 4 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Started off hot for the Eagles. Started off slow for the Dragons. Scoreless here in the 3rd quarter. 1:04 to go here at Gillette Stadium for the Boys Division III State Championship between the Duxbury Dragons and the Central High School Golden Eagles. This is Focus Springfield, and this is Ciro Zanetti. So the Dragons, with a record of 9-3 on the season to the Eagles' 9-2 record, seeming to be a fairly based team, as we saw a couple of weeks ago with the Eagles beating St. John 66-33, and the Dragons dismantling Duxbury 35-6. These two teams not having the close score that we expected. However, this game isn't over till it's over. 1:04 once again to go as the timeout runs out and the Eagles set back to the field. 3rd and 2 on the 43-yard line. Watson set up, and he's going to have his options. And a lot of confusion with the fakes. And they're going to signal that they do, in fact, get the first down. So Crawford able to power his way through with the rush. 1st and 10 now for the Eagles. So we'll see what Watson sets up. Watson taking his time to chew the clock, almost getting a false start. Gonna hand it off again. Crawford reading the way, getting past for the first down, to the 20, to the 10, to the house. Marcus Crawford in for 6 for the Eagles. And another touchdown at Gillette for Springfield. An incredible rush, leading the way, reading the blocks, and finding his way into the end zone for 6. Crawford, his moment tonight here in Foxborough on the grand stage of the New England Patriots play. So now the 2-point conversion set with 19 seconds to go. Watson going to hold on to it, looking for the target to walk in for the 2-point conversion. And on that was number 10, Jose. That was for the Eagles. They were able to get in for the 2-point conversion. Nieves gets it in. But once again, the Eagles finding their way to the house, Marcus Crawford. Man, what an offensive performance from the Eagles. Several passing touchdowns, and now they even it out with a rushing touchdown of their own from former Mass Live High School Athlete of the Week, Marcus Crawford. So now Gabriel set to kick it off after the touchdown. And he will look to squib it. Gets it to about the 15, but quickly return, driving his way. Meant to say dashing through, and that was Prouty. Gets a good gain. So 1st and 10 on the 35. Duxbury put into good position. 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, 32-7, your updated score after the previous drive from the Springfield Central High School Golden Eagles. And wow, what a quarter for Watson and Crawford. So now it's Prouty's turn to do something of his own. To look for his target, pass, signaled complete, it seems. That one signaling it incomplete, one signaling it complete. So it is complete as two refs disagreeing with each other, but that's okay. That bring up 1st and 10 as the quarter comes to an end. And now to start up for the fourth quarter, the Central High School Golden Eagles up 32 to the Duxbury Dragons 7. Here for the Division III state championship between the Eagles and Dragons at Gillette Stadium, home of the New England Patriots. This is Focus Springfield, and reporting, this is Ciro Zanetti. So, as I mentioned, an incredible start offensively for the Eagles here in the third quarter. We'll see how the fourth quarter pans out and what overall we do end up seeing as the conclusion. 10 minutes, enough time for a defensive showout for the Duxbury Dragons. So the Duxbury Dragons having the ball on their possession. We'll see what they can do offensively. But like I said, and try to mention that really defensively is what's going to be big. So now I want to give a big shout out to Brendan Holland, Josue Vasquez, and Bobby Markham for the camera crew tonight. And what's really has really been a good job. So yeah, I want to thank them, and now start off the fourth quarter. 1st and 10. After the cheerleaders perform. So now the Dragons once again set to take over for the fourth quarter's kickoff now. On the 46th, the Dragons versus the Eagles, 32-7, the Division III state championship. Now, Prouty on the snap, handoff quick, and that was the Landolfi, as trying to get a rushing performance of their own. They'll bring up 2nd down on the small gain of 1. That was Dante Bolden on the tackle. So the fake handoff, Prouty has targets, and he's stopped big.
Number 0, Will Brown's pass.
And maybe looking for maybe a roughing the passer on the play, not called, as it looked clean. 3rd and 9 on the incomplete pass.
Number 24, Corey Jackson providing pressure for the Golden Eagles. Will bring up a 3rd
And now we'll see what they do on 3rd and 9.
from their own 47.
So now we'll see how Prouty does his own. Prouty to throw, the pass complete, and flag on the play. That was number 17, Drake Hadley, on the first down breakout. But we'll see what the flag signals for the Duxbury Dragons.
Personal foul. Blindside block. Offense. 15-yard penalty for starting foul. Repeat that now.
So there will be a huge penalty on the Duxbury Dragons, bringing them back big. And now there's another penalty on the flag. Another penalty on the field for Duxbury. So there's going to be a warning on the sideline for Duxbury. Now 3rd and 24. Miracle needed to overcome this great wall of Central, you could say. Now 3rd and 14. Set to snap. Prouty. Intercepted. Dante Bolden, the senior, finding his way in another pick for the Eagles. And another pick thrown from Prouty. Dante Bolden, a standout defender for the Eagles this whole season. One of the best defenders I've seen this year. And now, the interception as a senior at Gillette. First and 10 now for the Eagles. So the handoff quickly now to Crawford as he gets a small gain. There will be a flag on the play. So to mention another turnover for the Dragons on the hands of Will Prouty, giving the Eagles another opportunity to get 6 up guaranteed. They're going to call a face mask on the defense. Automatic first down for the Eagles. This is huge. The penalties are killing the Dragons' discipline, usually seeming to be the story of the game for the Eagles. However, today, it's going out for the Dragons. On the 15-yard line, 1st and 10, 8:53 to go in the game. 32-7 your score right now. Watson set up on the snap. Handoff. Crawford splits through. Gets to about the 6 or 7. Crawford on a big run. 2nd and 2. We'll get it on the 7 instead. So on the pickup, Watson has to work with 2 yards before he gets into the 1st and goal scenario. So now, Watson fakes the handoff, rolls out on his own, looking to dive in for the end zone. The freshman Watson glides in for 6 more for the Eagles. Unbelievable performance from the freshman, William Pop Watson. And there's a flag on the play. Doesn't seem like it can call back the touchdown. Seems like it might be after the play, but we'll see. So we'll see what the call is. Wow. So that is a huge call. Once again, usually called against Central in these scenarios. It's very unusual to see it. The Dragons take this on a unsportsmanship-like conduct. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. So now they're set for the 2-point conversion. 38-7. Pop to hold on to it again. And it's practically picked off, it seems. Whatever will be ruled, the 2-point conversion, no good. So 38-7, your score after another turnover capitalized by the Central High School Golden Eagles. And now with 7:24 to go, we'll see how the Dragons can do now, because with hope falling short, they genuinely have to capitalize eventually and stop with this sort of, you could say, like, continuance of turning the ball over, really. So now Gabriel set to kick it off as we are back for kickoff the squib. And now he muffs it. If the Eagles were there, they could take him down in a big time stop. One of the biggest stops on the kickoff for the Eagles. Get him to about the 19. And don't forget the penalty that was issued earlier. So we'll have it on the 20. First and 10 for the Dragons. Proudly set out again. Prouty. Ready for the snap. Has help in the backfield. Fakes the handoff, he keeps it. And he's taken down quickly. Not able to find the room he needed. 5:24 to go in the game. Be a second down now for the Dragons. So now 2nd and 5. We'll see how the run game continues for them. So now Prouty to throw. Pass incomplete, and Coach Vladimir Brower quick to have it for the Eagles. Maybe he wants to get on the field with his shorts, as he always seems to rock. But now, 3rd and 5 after the incompletion for the Dragons. It's almost like a curse. Once again in bad territory.
Just a reminder to all fans that the trophy presentation will take place in section 127 of the concourse at the conclusion of this game.
So, clock winding down. 3rd and 5 for the Dragons. Set the snap. They find the target needed. And for them, that was Brady Madigan. And they're going to move past that and get the first down. Less than 4 minutes to go now. Clock winding quickly. 38-7 your score. Ball on the 36. Minutes away from the conclusion of the Boys Division III State Championship. Prouty on the snap. Holds. Gets past them. Jackson chasing him, pushes him out. And that will now bring up first down as Prouty gets the distance he needs. So 3 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the game. Ball on the 49. Prouty set for the snap. Confused on the field. And now on the snap. Prouty to keep it again as he's brought down after he meets the Eagles on that one. So now, 2nd and 4 after the QB keeper. He's going to hold on to it again. Take it down even quicker this time. 3rd down. Less than 2 to go. With 1:52 to go in the game, there's going to be an injury timeout. So after the injury timeout, after number 70 for the Duxbury Dragons, Tyndall Frick was taken out. Stretcher comes, and the stretcher goes as the crowd paying their dues. After an unfortunate injury took place, the show must go on. 3rd and 2 for the Duxbury Dragons. And play to resume. Now here is Prouty. Look for his target. Perfect pass. Jackson to chase him. And Miller able to take him down. That was number 8, Brady Madigan. Clock still winding. 1:30 to go. So now, clock still going. The handoff, that's Landolfi. He's taken down after the big gain on the play. First down for the Dragons as this looks to be a promising drive. They're inside the 15. Ball spotted on the 14, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 from the 14.
So now Prouty to lob it up. Pass no good. Incomplete. And he was looking for Anderson. Not able to get it to go. 2nd and 10 for the Dragons. So, getting to the last play of the game. 10 seconds to go. Will he get the snap? He will. He's going to try his luck. They do get a touchdown to end the game to number 8, Brady Madigan. But the time runs out. And your Division III state champions for the 2019 season, the Springfield Central High School Golden Eagles. The score 38-13. The Eagles are your back-to-back state champions. An incredible performance here at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, on the fine evening of Saturday, December 7th, 2019. You're watching Focus Springfield. This is Ciro Zanetti.
It's unbelievable. Like, sometimes you can't put things like that. I can't even put into words how good it feels. Always be relaxed at quarterback. Said, never rush anything. Everything's going to come to you, and it's going to be really obvious. So I trust him, he trusts me, and we was always on our A game. I love this program. I love my city, so being able to play for these dudes, it means a lot to me.